To your reading for November 2022. This is going to be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you are intuitively guided to the reading and you don't know if you have Aquarius in your chart. Thank you for paying attention to your intuition. Just means you have a sign here. You could certainly have planets in the sign of Aquarius, or you may be in love with Aquarius. So whatever brought you, I say welcome. I feel like first of all, we're going to use 3 different decks. We have the Mother Mary, which is going to be our words of wisdom. We're going to clarify with the Gilded Tarot. And the main spread is going to be with the Good Tarot. But let's start with our Mother Mary. Anyways, I was going to say that I get this feeling like the first half of your month may be about career, or I feel like you'll have a leg up, like over everyone. Like you'll have a leg up, you know, like if, let's say, a promotion is out there for, you know, people to apply. I feel like if you apply, you'll get it. It just feels like luck is on your side as it relates to that. And then I feel like the second half of the month is about having fun, and doesn't mean putting off responsibilities, but I feel like it's just a much lighter energy for you. Now we are going to go through the total lunar eclipse, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with Mother Mary. All right, you have sobriety. Sobriety. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. You know, it's interesting because I was feeling like the beginning of the month, or let's just, you know, say the first half of the month. I feel like you have a lot of luck coming your way, but I feel like this luck is more related to like money and creativity and what moves you up in the world. And then the second part of the month, this may be where this is coming in, like, you know, maybe I receive something I've been waiting for at the beginning of the month, and I don't want to blow it. I don't want to blow it. You know, I just feel like, you know, it could certainly be relating to, like, alcohol and that type of thing. You know, the thing that, like, clouds our judgment, let's say. But it can also be, like, our own thought system. So whatever it is, my clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. We'll read it from the end, or we'll read it at the end of the reading. That's where from the book. But it'll make sense in the reading, too. So, let's go ahead and begin the tarot portion. Again, we're going to use a good tarot. Everything is always pre-shuffled, but I do shuffle it with you here. I am going to read off the top, just the way I feel. I know not everybody likes that, but I feel like, you know, you want me to trust my intuition at the same time. So, let's bring the lid down. And let's begin. Okay, well, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Tells me there's been some kind of shakeup in your life. It is the first card, which is, I think, you know, if I'm going to say good news, the good news is that it's the first card. So it does feel like something shook your life. This is normally the energy where I feel thrown out into the cold. It can be unexpected, but nonetheless I have to keep moving through this energy. You know, I feel like the 5 of Pentacles is really where we start to learn compassion and empathy for our fellow man, because we've been through it. 5 is about change. You know, sometimes the Tower can come in and it can feel destructive, but it may actually move you right to where, I don't know, I feel like is your heaven. All right. We have temptations. Well, this could be why sobriety came out. This is the devil, but this can speak of lower energy temptations, things that tempt us that may not benefit us. It's also the card of Capricorn. Been coming out a lot, I have to say. This could certainly speak to someone who, due to like energy within this lower temptation, it could have created, an unwanted result. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. And the Nine of Cups. So quite interesting because, I feel like we have two sides to the story here. We have this side where, it's like I received some type of what feels like a destructive tower, let's say. But it feels like it's because I've been, I guess in my lower energy. Maybe I've been drinking more than I should. But at the same breath, I feel like this is about understanding that. I feel like this is about, like, I'm kicking that, like, overcoming that. I feel like, like I've learned a real hard lesson here. But nonetheless, I feel like I've learned. And then I feel like this Ace of Cups with the Nine of Cups feels like completely different energy. Nine of Cups. This is where I'm feeling good within myself, good within my life. This can talk about learning to love yourself again, right? Giving yourself opportunities and allowing yourself to shine. It's interesting because that feels like the beginning of the month and then moving into the middle of the month. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Page of Pentacles coming under this Five of Pentacles. So I feel like anything that's happened in the Five of Pentacles, this is the opportunity to learn from it. The Page is gaining knowledge along this path, but to use it in their physical world. Someone may have lost a job, and it may have felt destructive. But I feel like this is also saying, I feel like it's moving you to something new. We have the King of Swords. Can be you, Aquarius. Can be another Aquarius. Can be a Libra or a Gemini. Doesn't have to be any of that. Coming under the Devil's energy. Look at this, with the Queen right next to the King. The Queen right next to the King. The Queen has the Ace of Cups above her. The King has the Devil above him. And then we have the Fool. First of all, I feel like there is new love that is about to, when I say about, I feel like it's coming into your life, the opportunity. How it shows may be different for different people, but nonetheless, it's the opportunity. It's interesting because we open up with quite difficult energy through the Five of Pentacles, but it does speak about change. Also, there is a lot of growth, and there's a lot of like real knowledge I can gain from that. This King may be the one who, can certainly be a Capricorn, but also could be someone who was like living in his lower temptations, living in his lower energy. But then this Queen here, she's got that white owl, very wise, with the Ace of Cups above her, and then the Fool beside her. You know, interesting too, because if you take the Nine of Cups and add this Ace of Cups, it brings us to the Ten of Cups. But I feel like it's saying, but at the beginning, right? The Fool is starting at the beginning. First of all, the Fool is mirrored by the Five of Pentacles. So whatever happened in the Five of Pentacles, which I have a feeling we're about to find out, it's not about hanging on to that energy. It's about learning from that energy. And I know it was probably difficult, or maybe you're going through it right now, but nonetheless, I feel like it is a learning experience. And when I learn from this, I feel like I come out the other side of it. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Wow, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Interesting. So we go from the Ten of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like there was a breakup. There was some type of breakup. Again, whether it be, you know, it could certainly signify through your career. You know, like a loss of a job. It feels like, you know, half of what I had was taken. Again, you know, difficult. Yeah. But at the same breath, I feel like it doesn't mean you can't have it again, right? It may just look different. It may just be different. We have the Queen of Pentacles under that. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay. Let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's break this down. Let's figure out exactly what's going on here. First of all, I love that the Queen and the King of the same suit showed up side by side. One side, the King has the Page of Pentacles. The other side, the Queen has the Fool. I may be forgiving someone. Now, listen, if you don't want to forgive someone, don't. That's up to you. But I kind of get this feeling that for some of you, there may be some type of forgiveness that you give that may bring, let's say, a relationship back together. Now, if that's the case, I have to tell you, I feel like you're starting from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like starting from the beginning. But I also feel for some of you, this is about what you've been through. And maybe someone threw you the tower, because the Five of Pentacles is like outside of our control. So someone threw you the pentacle. And listen, maybe it's taken time for you to recover. But then I feel like, what's happening with that? Well, I feel like because it's such a valuable learning lesson, you're able to use it to your benefit. So for some of you, it feels like I'm closing a chapter, but then this Ace of Cups would represent the next chapter. As with the Fool, right? The Fool says, I'm not carrying the pain of the past with me. And if I am carrying the pain of the past with me, then maybe, you know, maybe a coming back together wouldn't be the best idea, because it would probably just repeat itself. If this is about the past coming back together again, with the Fool, there would have to be a clearing. Like, you know, there would just have to be. Okay, anyway. Some of you may have cut ties with someone because maybe they couldn't, maybe they weren't trying to control something that, well, doesn't feel like it was good for you. Alright, we have the Eight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the Eight of Swords. And Swords is called a self-created prison. This is where, due to the pain and, you know, this tower action that really is unexpected in the Five of Pentacles, because otherwise I feel like we would have made a plan, right? We wouldn't feel thrown out into the cold. But I do feel like, it's almost like half of what I had was taken, maybe against my will. So Eight of Swords is almost like a natural human energy where it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to let that happen again. So I feel like I have two options here. I can look at it for truly what it was. And listen, if this is talking about someone who couldn't control their own, what's the word? Their own self. Don't you then go and create this wall of protection against it. Instead, I feel like it's saying, learn from it. Look at that, 2 8s back to back. So that's exactly what you do. You learn from it. The 8 of Cups is, it's where I've taken that moment and I've looked at my emotional house. I've looked at, that type of energy that holds me back, that stops me from letting opportunity enter into my life. Because don't forget, 8s are about a new beginning. And when the 8 of Swords, I don't know how there can be a new beginning in anything, because it's almost like I'm blocking that. 8 of Cups is different though. 8 of Cups is what I feel like the Page of Pentacles is asking for. I'm just looking at it, right? I'm just putting this house back in order. I'm clearing away the cobwebs. I'm letting go of what no longer serves me. Coming right over the Devil, by the way. So some of you, because we do have the Queen of Pentacles below, it could simply signify, for some of you, it may be a Capricorn. Can also talk about someone else who has seen, let's just say, their destructive ways and has made a change. 2 8s. Where's the person at the 8 of Cups moving to? If they're able to clear that emotional house, the 9 of Cups. It's already here. And not just that. When we look at these 2 8s, right? One's a self-created prison. I know why. Because it's coming over the 5 of Pentacles, which again is difficult energy. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I was only gone for a second. But I do forget what I was talking about, but that's okay. 88. 1988. That may mean something for someone. Alright, let's keep going. We have the Hermit. Card of Virgo. It's interesting because I know there's a few Aquariuses out there who would not consider a Virgo, which is interesting. I'm a Virgo, but I get it. I know. Anyways, it doesn't have to be a Virgo for sure. Let's talk about, I feel like the Hermit. I feel like this Queen, honestly, has come through a lot of, let's just say, tower moments. And I feel like this Queen has really taken the time to evaluate, to look at her life, to see, like what went wrong, why it went wrong. Not to put blame on herself, not even to put judgment out there. But I feel like this Queen definitely took a very spiritual look at her life. And I feel like, it's like as she takes this look at her life, I feel her vibration lifting. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I know that she's not carrying the past with her. I know that she's no longer, if it was her in this 8 of Swords, those walls have come down. Why have they come down? Because sometimes I feel like it takes guts and glory, but nonetheless, I use my guts and glory, and I cleared my emotional house. I cleared it. The Hermit, I think, is a very spiritual look. Well, coming over the Ace of Cups. This can speak about what feels like a spiritual love. To me, that means it'd be a soulmate type energy. It's illuminating. You know, first of all, this Hermit is not just illuminating the Ace of Cups, but it's illuminating this snake. And I feel like this is trusting in yourself and your knowledge and your wisdom, that if any snakes would find themselves on your path, I feel like this queen will see it immediately. Immediately. I also feel the Hermit can, if the Hermit chooses, become a great teacher. Listen, I shouldn't say if the Hermit chooses, because I feel naturally when we travel through this energy, and it makes sense that these 2 8s would then end up into the Hermit's energy. So not only am I taking a human look at my emotional house, I'm taking a spiritual look at it. King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This queen may be saying bye-bye to one king and hello to another king. This king may not have, and of course it can be female. You know, I know there's men and women watching. I know some are, you're not like you're interested in, like a woman interested in a woman, a man interested in a man. Just read it like that. I'm just reading it because it's showing me a king. So I do feel like for some, this king probably, I almost want to say with sobriety there, may have drank a lot, may have, boy, in a way I feel like put you through hell. Now, maybe they cleared that energy, but nonetheless, I'm starting to feel like maybe this king is going bye-byes, and this king is coming in. Just keep going. We might come back and look at that king a little deeper, but let's keep going. We have the 3 of Wands. Beautiful. I feel like this is talking about like the second half of the month. This is when I'm really looking at all that can be with an optimistic view. I'm not putting limits on what can be. Why? Because I've learned so much. Coming over that Page of Pentacles, because I've learned so much. Three Wands. I just know my ships will come in. I don't know when. I'm not even thinking about when. I'm thinking about the present day moment. This is moving. It's interesting because it's following the King of Wands, and now we have the 3 of Wands. So this is me getting a little bit excited about something. I say me, I mean you. All right. Well, justice. I feel like I'm divorcing this king. I'm cutting ties. At least temporarily. Again, this king could, I feel like, kick a habit. I don't feel like it would be easy, but I feel like, he could. And I feel like maybe if he did, maybe there's an opportunity for it to work again. But I don't feel like if this king doesn't kick whatever this lower temptation is, this queen is like, no. You gotta go. Justice. So, can represent the legal system. You know, again, from the Ten of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles, I may have lost half of what I had. But don't wallow in that, because this is not about what you've lost. This is about where you're yet to go. So there may have been a divorce, a cutting of ties. And then look at this, another 8, 3 8s. It's just fast-moving energy. It's interesting, because I feel like if I'm cutting ties to this one king, energy just starts amplifying. 8 of Wands. What I think about, I bring about. This queen to me feels like she's in much higher energy, a much higher vibration now. Why? Because she has definitely taken the time to understand life and all its tribulations. She has learned to look at life through a spiritual lens. I also feel like she has learned that if something or someone is not serving her, if someone or something is not willing to make the changes necessary, then I cut ties. This is about what's next, though. Then we have the Page of Swords with the 8 of Pentacles. Interesting. So I feel like, first of all, for those who, if this is, for some of you, this, I do feel like it's talking about a loss of a job. But nonetheless, I feel like it's moving you into an area. By the way, another 8. Now we have 4 8s. You know, new beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings. Now, this doesn't always mean I'm physically making physical changes, but energetically, I'm giving myself a new beginning. 8 of Pentacles talks about, if you focus on something, that's what you're going to grow. Some of you, I feel like you may be adding in a class, like going to school. You don't have to physically be going to like a college, but you may be like taking a class, something that's going to help expand you. You know, what I love about the 8 of Pentacles, it says if you put your focus on it, it's going to grow, and it moves into the 9 of Pentacles, which is success. It is success. So again, yes, I feel like I may have lost half, but I'm on my way to recreating maybe something even better. All right. I want to go up to this King of Wands first and foremost. With this Page of Swords coming over the Fool, I'm wondering if this is some type of communication that may be coming in. Listen, I feel like, first of all, I feel like this Queen and King, I do feel like there was a breakup. I do feel like it may have felt like against the Queen. But truth be told, I feel like the Queen is, again, male or female, whoever threw the tower, the other one seems to be the one who is receiving these new beginnings, these new opportunities, even maybe new opportunities in love. I have a feeling whoever threw that tower maybe wishes they didn't, but I kind of feel like it's too late for that. Anyway, I want to go back and I want to look at this King, because he's coming over the 9 of Cups with the Ace of Cups right beside that. To me, that would add up to the 10 of Cups. Look at this. We have the 5 of Cups. I don't know, Aquarius. I feel like there is someone on your mind. I feel like this is speaking of someone of the past. This could be someone, you know, like I could have been in a pretty shitty marriage, pretty shitty relationship, but yet there's someone else that has been on my heart, that has been on my mind. I could even say that I use this person as my escapism. You know what I mean? Like when I lay my head down on my pillow at night, it's them I fantasize about. even though I feel like I might have been stuck in hell. Five of Cups, change, right? So instead of focusing on the loss, I'm going to start focusing on the cups that have yet to appear. That's what's happening in the Five of Cups. There's two cups that have yet to appear. Interesting that I'm looking at this king coming over the Nine of Cups, and I felt like the energy of like a spiritual love. So I feel like this may speak of a soulmate energy. Doesn't mean this wasn't a soulmate, because soulmates teach us lessons, and we teach lessons also. That's what we're here for. But this may have been a difficult lesson, and part of that lesson may have been learning to free yourself, learning when to know when it's time to go, right? Because I feel like when you do, everything starts amplifying for you. Okay, so I want to look at that king. I'm not done yet. I want to know a little bit more. I feel like, I do feel like this is someone of your past. I do feel like some type of communication, whether you're making that communication or they're making that communication. We have the Seven of Cups. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I wanna. And then look at this, the Two of Wands. Starting on a new path. Interesting that the Two of Wands came out, and we have the Three of Wands, and we're looking at the King of Wands. Again, doesn't have to mean that it can only be a fire sign, but this would be someone, let's say, action-oriented. This is someone who would definitely make you feel desirable, passionate. This could be a very passionate type love affair. Even if it's someone from, I feel like, a long time ago. I feel like somebody's calling someone. And as scary as that may be, because I feel like who's ever making the call does have some worry around it, like I want to do it, but will it be received well? I feel like the answer is yes. So who's ever reaching out, I feel like the other side is, very happy. Very happy. Okay. Let's just come down to this Queen with the Fool next to her. Temperance. Divine timing. Patience. I feel like this Queen has been patient. I do. I feel like this Queen has been patient. That is Temperance's real lesson, is patience, waiting for, other things to develop, waiting for the perfect recipe to be made, right? Not dipping my toe in it until, it's ready. Divinely being led. This Queen knows that. This Queen feels very spiritual to me. I can tell you one thing. I feel like this Queen, listen, I feel like if you're coming into her life, come into her life with truth and honor and loyalty, or don't come into her life, because I don't feel like she would accept anything less. Now, it's not because I feel like this Queen is hard and cold. Quite the opposite. This King may be, but I feel like this Queen has really worked out a lot of energy. What am I holding? Temperance. All in divine timing. However, Temperance has the Eight of Wands right over it. Fast-moving energy. This could be something that's coming back together from years ago. And listen, maybe it has been a long, long time, but maybe this is the right time. Especially if I'm dealing with someone over here that, listen, they're not, it doesn't feel like they're giving you anything of value. And yes, you may have lost half of what you had, but boy, this is about gaining a whole different type of life now. I don't even feel like I need to look at the king any further. But let's go ahead and look at the Fool. Temperance is looking right over at the Fool. Again, brand new start, brand new beginning, right? The Fool takes chances. Why is the Fool able to take chances? Because I've evaluated, I've looked at, and I understand my past. And I'm not going to let my past stop me from the potential of all that can be. And there's a lot that can be. Wow, the Chariot. Perfect. First of all, it's interesting because I feel like this king with the queen, it's a different type of love. I feel like even if this is a soulmate over here, it's a soulmate who's to teach us some very difficult lessons. Nonetheless, I feel like you've learned. This king over here feels completely different. So does the queen, as a matter of fact. The Chariot comes as a reward for putting balance back into your life. The Chariot comes as a reward for maybe even these two people, because it is about the masculine and the feminine finding balance, right? First within, but maybe even without. Balance of the light and the dark. The Chariot, even though we're starting at the Fool's energy, right? The Ace of Cups and the Two of Wands. Even though we're starting at the beginning, the Chariot tells you there's really no limit on where this can go. And listen, the more that I let go of these eights and I understand them, and then I let them be, I just feel like the better your opportunities will be lying ahead. Chariot, card of Cancer, by the way. Excuse me. I just feel like it's saying there's no limit. I feel like we're looking at two halves of a life. One, unfortunately, maybe didn't go the way I planned. One, unfortunately, caused some pain. Definitely some pain in my life. But on the bright side of that, it's also taught my spirit so much. And because of that, moving into the Hermit's type energy, I can now see and understand anything that maybe would not work in my favor. Again, that Hermit is illuminating any snakes that may, find their way on your path. I don't feel like this queen, first of all, I feel like this queen would know it instantly, and I don't feel like the queen would put up with it, because I feel like in this queen's world now, it's like truth and honesty and loyalty. I feel the word loyalty is a must. It's a must. So, I feel like we have the two halves of Aquarius. Okay, let's read sobriety. Now, this could stand for you, but it also could stand for this king. Mother Mary supports your intention to have a chemical-free lifestyle, so she can guide your detoxification process and support you in choosing sobriety, one day at a time. A clear and sober mind is better able to concentrate during meditation and prayer. in the same way that a sober driver can better steer an automobile in a straight line. Your prayers for help in this regard can also reduce or even eliminate cravings for unhealthful substances, so that sobriety is a pleasant and peaceful choice. Mother Mary's love will give you the feeling of comfort, bliss, and love that you once sought through subsistence. So if that's not you, I don't know why I can't say that word all of a sudden. If it's not you, I definitely feel like it's this king. And it could speak about both, right? Maybe both of us tended to, drink a lot or party a lot or what have you. But I feel like, one having realization of, like, I really can't get ahead in life in this way. So, All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. High Priestess under her. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. This is another reading where I feel like I cannot wait for your comments. I do feel like I'm reading for two halves of the same person or the same people. But you'll let me know. So, I'm going to let that be. I love you guys. I will see you next time at our table. I don't know, I'm hesitating. Love you. Bye-bye.